to the Amazon for the first time about 10 years ago, and I met my teacher Enrique. One of the first things he said to me was, "Gopal, you should smoke. It's really good for you." And I went, "Hang on a minute. You're going to have to explain this to me. I mean, I came here to have my mind blown, but I wasn't expecting that, and I certainly wasn't expecting it on day one. Like, what's the deal? Everything I know about smoking says it's bad for you." He says, "Well, if you use tobacco properly, it's incredibly good for you. But if you abuse it, it's obviously very, 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 very bad for you. We know that oxygen is the most important nutrient, and we can survive, months without food. We can go days without water, but how long are we actually going to survive without oxygen? Well, I know this for a fact. It's minutes. So anything we do that inhibits our body's ability to absorb oxygen is obviously bad for us, and smoking is one of those things. We line our lungs with tar, and that inhibits our ability to breathe the life-giving airs of our planet. So obviously not a great thing to do. We know this. However, tobacco has been used for hundreds of thousands of years by indigenous cultures for many sacred purposes and purposes of healing. Tobacco is a teacher plant. It's also a great healer. Tobacco has this amazing ability to cleanse the auric field of unwanted energies. If there are spirits in the air that they generally don't like tobacco, and it has this way of just clearing the space of, let's say, unwanted beings. I don't think your ancestors and your spirit guides are going to be fussed by tobacco smoke, but certainly the more unpleasant entities that we might encounter are not keen on tobacco smoke, so they would leave the room. Tobacco can be used for giving you a sense of clarity and focus and centeredness and grounding. It's used in smoke in that form, but if you were to take it as a tea, it can induce a very deep purge, cleansing the body. It's also a very subtle medicine. When we do a tobacco purge like that, we really get to commune with the spirit of tobacco, and in your dreams at night, as with working with all diet plants in the Peruvian shamanic tradition, the spirits will sort of come in your dreams and be present with you and speak to you and teach you things. It's very fascinating. Obviously it can be ground into powder and taken as a snuff like hape, but it's actually an incredibly useful plant if we use it properly. And my suggestion is, for most people who have a dependency on tobacco, an addiction to tobacco, most people want to quit smoking. We as human beings, we have nicotine receptors in our brain. I personally don't know of any other plant that contains nicotine. Maybe I should Google this, but if you feel like you want to Google it and send me a message, feel free. Let me know if there are any other plants that contain nicotine. But I believe it's the only one. We have nicotine receptors in our brain. Why is this? We're obviously meant to have a relationship with this plant spirit, and if that's the case, we need to learn how to use it properly so that we're not harming ourselves. So my suggestion is to change the relationship with tobacco. It's not necessary to give up smoking, though for many people that may be the best thing to do. But I would suggest to change that relationship, to stop inhaling the smoke, and to use the tobacco for what it's intended. Tobacco is used for praying. It's used to carry our prayers on the smoke to create a spirit. So every time we smoke, we pray. It's not that every time you pray you have to smoke, but tobacco is a prayer plant, as well as being a healer, and for many other things. So know why you're using the tobacco. Be mindful of what you're thinking about whilst you're smoking, because your thoughts are amplified by the power of the tobacco and carried out into the universe to bring back what you're thinking about, what you're praying, into your reality. So I'll leave you with that. Let me know how you get on, and bless your journey, and I hope your relationship with tobacco becomes something that's very healthy and very wholesome and very useful in your life. If you'd like to know a little more, you can shoot me a message. I'm very happy to kind of talk about this a little bit more on a one-to-one basis. But yeah, I think that's good for now. And yeah, blessings on your heart, blessings on your journey. So much love.